Check out this lovely view, people. So most of you have probably seen Colossal Biosciences direwolves. I'm going to share a few opinions that I have and that people that I've talked to about this topic have on the subject. I made a video about this just yesterday, and I wanted to make another one because I think it's super interesting. And my personal opinion is that they are not true direwolves. I think most people agree with that, but I'll talk about that later in the video. I'm at the spa right now, so I figured I'd start the video somewhere with a nice view. So the first thing I want to talk about is the resurrection of the direwolves. Well, they took DNA from two samples, a tooth of a direwolf and a skull. And then they replicated the DNA with gene modification in gray wolves. So I don't know all the science behind it, but from my understanding, that's like a basic way of explaining how they got the direwolves. Now, these are definitely the closest thing to direwolves that we've had for the past 12,000 years. And while I do agree that these are not true direwolves, I do also think that they're not just normal wolves either. For one, these are way different than a normal gray wolf. They are growing very rapidly, way faster than a normal gray wolf would, and they also howl differently. They're also going to look a lot different than a gray wolf will. You can actually already see that in the pups and also the older wolves too. Now, I do think that these are kind of direwolves in a way. They act more like a direwolf would, or at least how we think that they would, and they're different from gray wolves, so they're a direwolf, right? Well, not really. They're still mostly genetically a gray wolf, and actually they're completely genetically a gray wolf. They're just modified slightly. I talked to my teacher about this, and she didn't think that they were true direwolves. She described them as modern direwolves. Now, I do think that that is actually kind of a good way to describe these, because I still don't think that they're gray wolves. I think that we can call these direwolves because they sort of are, because they have the traits of a direwolf, or at least what scientists think that they would, and they have DNA that's based off of direwolf genes. I'm not just going to sit here and glaze Colossal Biosciences for the whole video. I don't think that they de-extincted the direwolf. Yeah, this is sort of a direwolf in my opinion, but I don't think that it's a true direwolf. And I don't think it's the same direwolf that existed 12,000 years ago during the Pleistocene. There was $10 billion dumped into this project. Why aren't we using this on conservation efforts? These wolves aren't going to get released into the wild, and if they do, it'd probably be bad. They might outcompete like the normal gray wolves because they're bigger. They've got denser bone structures and wider skulls. They're going to be stronger than gray wolves. And if they breed with coyotes like wolves have in the past, does that set its own like problems in the ecosystem? It isn't helping the environment because this ecosystem has been gone for over 10,000 years. They dumped $10 billion into this project. Finding specimens of direwolf DNA to replicate and make a genetically modified gray wolf that has no place in the ecosystem. Guys, I'm going to end this video now because I just wanted to update my take on it, because on the last video I said some things that I kind of changed my mind on because I've done some more research and I want to talk about it a little bit more. Yesterday I said that they weren't direwolves at all, but right now I'm saying that they are sort of direwolves because their DNA was based off of real or the DNA that they modified was based off of real direwolf DNA, but I don't think that they're true direwolves, and they never will be. So anyway, that's the video. I found it really interesting, this whole topic. I feel free to leave your takes in the comments below if you've made it this far. The last video did really poorly. I just think this is interesting, so that's why I'm making these videos. But if you do watch this, please leave your opinion in the comments down below. Maybe there will be a third video about this, but for now, this is probably going to be the last one. I don't want to make too much direwolf content, but I'm going to try to make some more chair talks just because they're easy to make, and I have a lot of very strong opinions on things. So that's going to be another thing on the channel. I just want to pump out as many videos as possible, but I also want to pump out more quality content, like stuff that is going to be very easy to watch. This is just me ranting. These are what these videos are about. So yeah, There will be the next video will be like an actual video. I'm not gonna, make one of these again. So anyway, peace out. Subscribe if you want.